how to actually pick the right niche. Okay, this took me way too long. So this is going to be an educational guide to show you how you can do it way quicker. Let's get right into it. First of all, my promise to you is that by the end of this video, you will know the exact framework I used to get that light bulb moment and find the right niche for me. Plus how you can use it yourself and find your ideal niche and finally stop the niche hopping. Okay, what I mean by this is you find one niche, you might try to stick for it for like 1 month, but then some guru comes along the way and says, no, go after this niche. I made 10K a month in only 2 weeks, whatever. And then you switch to that niche, but then you notice, it's actually not that great. And then again, you switch to the next one and the next one, and the cycle just keeps repeating itself. Okay. If you're familiar with that, we're going to stop that today. So first of all, who am I to talk about this? My name is Malte and I'm running an agency helping coaches for the past 1.5 years. So that's my niche. And it took me 6 months before starting my business to find the right niche for me. Okay. And since I started my business, I have stuck with that niche. So for 1.5 years now. And I have helped my clients as well find and define their niche. And I make videos like these on IG, but shorter. So if you want to follow me there, if you like this kind of educational content and want to see more, but maybe in a shorter format, just follow me on IG. My tag is @strubertsmedia. Just follow me. If you maybe want to shoot me over a question or need any help with your coaching, just DM me and we'll get talking. All right. So quick disclaimer, this video has no fancy edits, no dopamine hits. And if you need them, go back to YouTube Shorts. Okay. This video is purely to provide value and help you differentiate yourself, and it's only for the people who are down to learn. Okay, so here's why a niche is actually so important to have. This on the left is business with a niche, and this on the right is business with no niche. As you can see here, you can imagine this arrow as the energy you have to learn something, for example. Okay, if you have a niche, you put your energy towards learning in that niche. So you have an exact topic, an exact group you want to help, okay, with one specific problem. So you channel your energy towards that. And if you channel that energy, your energy will come out this way, okay? So it'll go much higher, as you can imagine, and there will be much more learning experiences and everything, and you will be seen as an expert. On the other hand, if you have no niche, as you can see right here, you put maybe the same amount of energy in, but you learn so many different things, okay? So maybe you don't have a real niche, but you're helping this guy, for example, with his lawn mowing business, and this guy has an agency, and you help another guy with an accountant business, okay? So you have maybe the niche of businesses as a whole, okay? If you can even call it a niche, I wouldn't say so. But if you have that, as you can see, your energy is just so spread out, and you can't even reach much since you don't channel your energy. You have your energy going like in all places, but not like one clear direction. Okay. So simply said, let me move my camera real quick. Simply said, the niche allows you to become an expert in a specific area, while no niche will make you a generalist in multiple areas. A good example for this would be something like going to a surgeon, for example. Let's say your grandma has, for example, a bad eye on the right and she can't see as well. And now you're going to the hospital and for some reason they're giving you the chance to choose between 2 doctors, okay? One of them is a general surgeon and the other one is specified on helping these kinds of people with eye surgery. So which one would you pick, honestly? Probably the one that specializes in doing eye surgery, okay? Because these guys have been studying their stuff so much and they are experts in their niche, okay? Instead of generalists with other things. So with that being said, experts get paid more than generalists. That's a rule of thumb you should remind yourself of. So then which niche should you pick? Quickly move my camera. First of all, stop listening to gurus recommending niches to you, okay? And this would be also the case for me if I recommended a niche to you, but I'm not going to do that. With that being said, like one niche doesn't fit everyone. Like imagine if someone who was a lawyer all of their life now wants to start a business and feels the need to sell to cookie companies because some guru on social media said it's the best niche. Doesn't make sense, right? They've been a lawyer all their life. They have so much experience with the law and everything. Why wouldn't they just start a business that helps specifically lawyers? That would make so much more sense. But there are so many gurus out there that just tell you, oh my God, you need to start a business in this niche. It's the new thing. You can make so much money here. And look at my client. He's gotten this amount of progress in only like 2 weeks. It's bullshit, right? No one niche fits all people. Okay? Remember that, please. And the niche should always be picked by you and not copied, since it's a very individual thing that is different from person to person. So no, I won't be telling you what exact niche to go after, I'm sorry, but I'll give you something much better, okay? A checklist. So let me show you. This right here is the only checklist you will ever need to find your ideal niche. And by the way, big shout out to Charlie Morgan, because I actually got this idea from him. He actually made a video on that quite a while ago, and that video helped me so much to pick my own niche. Okay, so now I want to share this with you. And also, if you want to have this checklist yourself, I have a Google Doc in the description, so you can just click the link there. I've made this whole checklist onto a Google Doc. You can just have it for yourself, make a copy of it, and go through it yourself. Okay, so then let's get into it. As you can see right here, the first 4 questions have a little star on them. What this basically means is that these are non-negotiables. These are the boxes that need to be checked. Okay, so let me walk you through them. First of all, do the people in your niche have a problem that can be solved with what you are selling? So you want to see if the people in your niche actually have a problem that your service or product can actually solve. If that's the case, then tick this off, okay? And if not, don't. Okay? Then next one, if you're selling B2B, does the niche's niche need what they're selling? So if you're selling to another business, so for example, if I were to work for a cookie company, do people need cookies? Generally, they don't need them to survive, but they need them as a luxury. So there is a demand for cookies. So if you got that, great, you can go ahead with the niche. Next one, a really important one is your niche growing? If it isn't, definitely get out of there, because you will see that in the future, you will basically get destroyed, because no one in your niche is actually profiting anymore, and you won't make any money, either as a result. Okay? And if your niche is growing, that's great. So let me make an example. Something like that would be the newspaper, right? You can take a look at the market value of newspaper companies. No one really reads newspapers nowadays anymore, right? We use social media or Google or whatever to see what the news are. So Google would be an example of a great niche, and newspapers would be an example for a bad niche. Okay? Then the next one, which is also non-negotiable, is, are people in your niche financially stable enough to afford what you're selling? For example, if you're selling a high-ticket product, but you're selling it to like high school students, like what do you expect, right? They don't have any money, and how do you expect them to buy your service? A better example would be something like selling high-ticket service to big companies. They definitely have the money to afford high-ticket services. So that's what you want to look for. And now the next ones I'll be counting up. These are negotiables, okay? So not all of them have to be ticked, but generally, as a rule of thumb, you want to make sure like about 70% of these are ticked if you want to actually see good success with your niche. So first of all, do you have a passion for this niche? So you want to see if you actually are interested in the things that are going on in your niche. And there's a great quote to this. I don't know exactly how it goes, but it goes something like this. If you pick a job that you like, you will never have to work a single day in your life. Same is with your niche. If you have a passion for this niche, you will have a much better time to work longer hours, see more success, and therefore obviously make more money with your business. Okay? Next one is, are there enough people in this niche? And generally you want to look for a niche that has at least 30,000 people in it. Are there people serving this niche who are already killing it? So you want to see if there are already competitors out there who are making good money in this niche. And often people believe if there's competition in the niche, it's a bad niche. But actually no, it shows that there's actually an opportunity to make money, and it shows that the people are willing to pay money to solve their problems. Okay, so that's actually a good sign. If it's not completely oversaturated, which in most cases it isn't, go for it if there's competition. Then next one, if it's again B2B, so if you're selling to a business, does it make sense to compete with the promises people make in this niche? Good example for this would be something like the e-commerce space for agencies, right? People have been doing outrageous guarantees and all of that for e-commerce companies, okay? And these have just been getting out of hand. So if it doesn't make sense to compete with these super high promises that people make in the niche, especially if it's B2B, like delivering a service to e-commerce, it's not really that optimal, okay? So then next one is there a way to serve and scale in this niche effectively? So you want to see if you don't actually have to serve each customer separately, but if you can actually outsource some things or do automations. And this will future-proof your business basically, because if you're later on trying to scale it, you won't have to do all the boring work with the clients and all of that. So if you have the possibility, especially like in service, to set up automations or outsource stuff, definitely go with this niche. Okay. Then we have if you can easily find and contact leads in this niche. So this is basically important if you're doing outreach or cold calling, whatever you want to do. Okay. So you want to see if you actually can find these leads quickly and easily. A huge factor for me, for example, is I go for coaches, okay? And the thing is, coaches are so easy to find, right? You just have to go on IG, have to look for someone who helps coaches, for example, then look at their following and you will have a ton of leads to immediately contact. Next one, if it's again B2B, do you care about the impact the niche's work produces? So for example, if you'd be helping out casinos, do you actually care about the impact they make? Like, do you like the work they do? Do you like what they do to people? Most often it's no, right? Because many people lose money in casinos. Many people get depressed because they have lost money in the casinos. But if you're actually helping people that make an impact, this will basically give you a bigger vision for the whole thing to not only help this niche, but also help the clients of this niche like feel this impact from them, okay? So that's a really great thing to have in your niche. And then the next one is, do people in this niche use social media a lot? And this is basically a really important thing if you're trying to do inbound lead generation. So for example, if you're building a personal brand, creating content like I'm doing right now, if you're creating content and you want to get leads that way, if these people aren't even on social media, like what are you expecting, okay? So you gotta make sure if you're trying to do inbound, okay, make sure that these people even hang out on social media. And now to the last one, do you understand this niche or would you be able to understand it quickly? So like I said with the example of the lawyer before, if the lawyer actually wanted to start a business, literally the best option would be to serve other lawyers. Even if you have no experience with business at all, try to find a niche that you can understand quickly. That maybe your uncle is an accountant and he can teach you some things about accounting, and then you go start your business and actually help these people with their problems. That would be an example of understanding a niche quickly, even if you have no experience. So then let me get to the action step. Okay? So what I want you to do is to write down at least 10 niches right now. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write down 10 niches that come to your mind that you would consider. You can take some time for this, doesn't matter, but write down at least 10. And then you take this niche idea, the first one, you run it through this checklist, and then you get to your conclusion. Okay, so you want to see if it's actually fit for that or not. So it needs to tick the first 4 questions, which are non-negotiables. and of the other ones, it should tick about 70%. And if the conclusion is, no, I'd rather not go with this niche, then you just repeat this. So you look at the list again and take the next idea. You run it through, conclusion, yes, no, no, repeat, okay? And once you find the right niche, you got it, you're done, okay? And one last thing, the most important thing actually, promise yourself to at least stick with that niche for 12 months straight. The thing is, whatever you pick, there are gonna be hard things. There are gonna be hard times, but you gotta go through them. And if you do this checklist right, and you have ticked all the boxes, you will know every time something hard comes up that you still have the right niche for you, and that's the most important thing. So you wanna stick with that, and stick with it for at least 12 months straight. Like I said, the checklist is in the description down below. Good luck. Bye bye.